evening and welcome to tonight's show. Today is July 1st, 2025. I'm Linda Wu and I'm going to be your host tonight. Our topic is think twice before you visit Cambodia. I know it's a topic that close to your heart, maybe not close to your heart and very critical for everyone. So who care about human rights, justice, and democracy in Cambodia. So, again, my name is Linda Wu, and thank you so much for joining the show. This show is under CNRP America, and I have not been doing the show for since April. So, sorry about that. I've been sick and being busy, but now I'm back. So, hopefully, everyone can join me, and hopefully, that you have Khmer youth, Khmer kid, or anyone that care and concern and can able to understand English, please join, please share the show, please put in your comment, and hopefully you, not hope, I hope you enjoy the show because we have a very talented youth with us. She's smart, she's funny, and she's very dedicated to democracy in Cambodia. So, and she's also starting her master degree soon. So, nothing bad to say about her. She's really great. So, I hope when you meet her anywhere, she's all over the place, but she's in Connecticut, and you will find her on any of the event, KMD event or CNRP event or any protest. So she's very active. So let me welcome her. Her name is Soknin. Let me see. Jamitsu Soknin.
Jamibsu Bong. Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, Bong. How are you? Happy July. It's July 1st now.
I cannot believe that it's July. It's the half of the year is gone. So 2025 is gone. But we did a lot of activity for the last 6 months. Tell us something you did that you enjoy.
I think 2025 definitely going by very, very fast. I have been really enjoying getting to know different Cambodian community across the United States. I within the last 6 months, I was able to go see the community in South Carolina, North Carolina. I've actually been into North Carolina a little bit too often. The last 6 months, I was able to see their the famous Cambodian New Year celebration at Lexington Temple. I went to California and met with the Cambodian community in Long Beach a couple times this year, and I just been really enjoying and getting to know each community and how they have how they promote democracy for Cambodia. Each of every community that I'm able to see and get to know them, they all have this daring desire to promote democracy, human rights, and the betterment of Cambodia. However, some each of the community have a little bit different approach to work toward the same goal. So that's really interesting to learn, and just me myself as a Cambodian youth is really happy to see. And it's very, very motivating to push me to keep doing the work that I do. And then, of course, we can't forget the Cambodian New Year, and we had in April, and then we also had our protest in DC back in May, where we were also able to do some international fair in Washington DC as well.
And not only that, you went to South Korea, you went to Japan, Paris. So she's been all over the place and she is promoting democracy. So if you happen to meet her, please say hello and introduce your kid, especially your kid. She's very a good role model. And also, I lost my train of thought when saying this.
The only thing I wanted to add to that, Bong, I wanted to share a little bit of my background on like why I'm even here doing this show today, and I hope that my story will help other people find their pathway for democracy as well. Never in a million years have I ever thought about doing politics, not even politics in America. And I live in America. I'm an American citizen. Never thought I would be getting involved in politics. Um, my families are not very much involved in politics. I am the first one in my family to be actively involving in politics. However, and I did not speak fluent Khmer when I was joining, and that was a barrier for me because when I go and meet with Cambodian community, I really couldn't talk. Like I talk, I am able to understand them, but not as much as I am able to do now. And I have always let that be a barrier for me. Like I'm just a kid. I live in America. I don't know anything about politics. Who am I to who what am I gonna do in promoting democracy? That was my mistake, and I have overcome that barrier and use that as a motivation to be the voices of people in Cambodia. To that is my motivation to work for democracy with the Cambodian community, the Cambodian diaspora. So I wanted to share that piece of my story because I don't want other youth in the diaspora in Cambodia to have that barrier be to have those things as a barrier for them to get involved. If you don't speak Khmer, that's okay. You see Bong Linda here, myself as well. We have a couple other youth who speak both languages, and we would more than happy to help you and help you navigate this work that we do and the democracy world that we want to achieve for Cambodia. If you've never been in politics, perfect. This is a perfect opportunity for you to get involved in politics, and not only politics, but know your rights as a human being, and being the voice of people in Cambodia, and really preserve your heritage, your culture as well. So I'm really hopeful to see other people join, especially the younger ones. And I'm happy to say that I have been seeing an increase of our youth participation as I go from one community to the next. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy to do the work that I do now. Very happy to meet with a different community and see the resilient and the motivation, especially among the elder generation, where they have survived Khmer Rouge and um, survive the refugee, survive the survival mode and build the life that they have now. Yet they do not forget where they come from. They do not forget their roots. So I really am hopeful, and I'm hoping to see that there will continue to be an increase of our youth participation. And regardless where your background is, where you live in the state, in the diaspora, anywhere in Europe, in Asia, or whatever barrier you have, whether it's a language barrier, we would be willing to help you. We would be willing to work with you as long as you have the willingness and just say to us, yes, I want to get involved. How can I help? How can I get involved? Um, we are always open, always open, and always welcome other youth despite wherever they are in life. If they're in school, if they're out of school, we can do it. Even if you're in school, we can still make democracy work because democracy does not have vacation. Democracy doesn't have Christmas vacation. We work 24/7. We work everywhere that we can, just for the betterment of Cambodia, for democracy, and for human rights, um, for the improvement of our country. So I hope to see more youth get involved.
And dictatorship doesn't have a break. So and
Exactly,
it's
and
not an excuse.
um, that's why we need to build our teams even stronger, and keep doing the work that we do now because they don't take a break. So neither are we. We got to keep going.
And on that note, I remember what I was going to say. Thank you to Soknin family, mom and dad family that supported her for her to be able to do this. They must be very proud, and they must be very supportive to have a daughter who is like this. So good upbringing. So that's on that note. So thank you to her parent, Soknin mom and dad especially.
Thank you, Mom, to you too for doing all this work and always fighting for the youth and providing us with the opportunity to whether be on the live show or be present at any other events, or even just having us at the decision making table. So thank you to you too for the work that you do and continue to do.
No problem, Soknin. And on that note, you said you are in North Carolina. What are you doing in North Carolina, Soknin?
So I just got to North Carolina this morning to join an event that we have, very exciting event this Saturday in South Carolina. So on this trip, I'm able to um, do North Carolina and South Carolina. July 5th, we're gonna have a team building retreat, pretty much a gathering with the Cambodian diaspora, focusing on team building, like I mentioned earlier. Um, as you go from one community to the next, the Cambodian diaspora have this mission of improving Cambodia. However, they have a little bit of different strategy, different approach. So we wanted to come together and really work on our team building, sharing experience, best strategies, and also just having the fun of having the Cambodian diaspora. I think the connection that we have is something we should be celebrated. The resilient team that we have, the resilient diaspora that we have, should be celebrated. And that's what we're going to do. We can have live show. We're going to have a bunch of food, which is my favorite part of the event. So many Cambodian food and dessert. And the favorite part is the other best part is getting really spending some quality times with the aunties and the uncles, the bong on and all of them. So it's going to be really fun. We are going to share some of the works that we have done, some of the works that we're looking to do, and how each of us, as a Cambodian citizen, Cambodian descent, can take part in. So it's going to be very productive, and it's going to be fun at the same time. And we have so many communities coming along, like coming together to the event. We have California, the West Coast, the East Coast, the South. So it's going to be so much fun, yet still very productive and educational. And I hope to see you there. Will you be coming to the event, Mom?
Yes, I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday, and I am really excited. I'm hopefully to see everyone. And this team building retreat is in partnership with the Cambodian Society of South Carolina, KMD, which is Khmer Movement for Democracy, and also for the Khmer Rescue Foundations. So and many other organizations that we are not listed there, but for sure many Cambodians auntie, uncle, sister, and brother going to be there. So if you are around South Carolina, please join us for this retreat. The program is there, and also it's not just about getting together, about team building, and also we will do 2 hours worth of mental health workshop. And you know how mental health is very important, especially in the diaspora community, where when I said the auntie and the uncle, they've been out of my rules. So we're going to be touching on mental health issue and mental health workshop. So hopefully, not hope, I hope to see everyone. This retreat is not just for women, it's for men as well. Men do have mental health as well. So please join us. And I believe at night there's a camping, right, Soknin?
Yes, that's the other best part of the team building. You guys, we get to build the camp. We're gonna be camping, so we're going to be sleeping outside under the stars, and you really get to work together as a team. So during the day, we're going to enjoy the food, really get to know like what is team building, and then we're going to put that into practice at night by camping outside in the nature, and really get that. Well, now that we talk about it, it kind of like give us a little bit of it feels like Cambodia. It feels like we are at home. We're sleeping outside in the nature, and being surrounded by a lot of Cambodian communities from different places. So it will be a little bit of a taste from home, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I really hope to see everybody there, and I hope to see more event this type of event happen in the future. And as Bonglina mentioned, we are going to have a workshop focusing on mental health. We know that the Cambodian diaspora, the elder generation, have survived the refugees, survived the genocide. So we do have traumas. We have um, not so great memories, and many of them have only been on survival modes. But we also have our migrant workers who are separated from family, stress management, and being an activist as well. We carry a lot of stress because the work that we do is can be heavy. So we wanted to make sure that the wellness of our diaspora will continue to flourish, so that way we can continue to keep doing the work that we do. So it's going to be a lot of food, a lot of fun, and a lot of educational session this weekend in South Carolina.
Yes, and especially thank you to the Cambodian Society of South Carolina that putting all these together, including the tent, including clearing out the grass,
They
getting
have
ready
been
for us.
Um, they have been spending, I don't know, maybe 2 months now, every weekends. They go and they clean the yard. They cut the trees to make sure that we have a clean space by the water, to set up the tents, to prepare the food. And I heard that it's going to be a couple hundred people, so it can't be easy to prepare. Um, for that large amount of people. So a big thank you to them, and it would not be possible to do it without them. So we really appreciate them for being our hosts, and we look forward to continuing and partnering with them for our future events, especially in South Carolina, as well as collaborating with other region in the U.S. as well.
And we have the honor of also welcome the president of KMD, My Movement for Democracy. Her Excellency Mo Sukur will join us on this retreat. So please come, have fun, meet her. She's very, she's a well-known person. So come and meet her. Basically, come and meet Soknin, especially. So Saturday, July 5th, this weekend. If you live in California or you live anywhere else, you have not booked your ticket, it's still available. So please, if you're around South Carolina, North Carolina, please spend your 4th of July with us, July 5th. And that's what this coming Saturday. So hopefully, hope to see
Only a
everyone.
few days away.
Only a few days away, and it's not too late to change your plan and come on over. So, anything else, Soknin?
Nothing on this topic, but I think we cover a lot of it. Again, just a big thank you to the South Carolina community, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the different Cambodian community come along and get together. It's going to be fun. I know we do a lot of work, so this is a great time that we just take a little bit of a break. We're not completely taking a break, just a little bit of a break to enjoy ourselves and celebrate the diaspora that we have, but also still making the productiveness of that session by um, having a workshop on mental health.
Thank you, Soknin. And like I said, put in the comment if you would like the address, but I will post, we will post the flyer on CNRP-America Facebook as well. So please reach out to Soknin or reach out to myself. And it's what we welcome everyone. It's not just women. It's not because Soknin and I are women talking about women. No, we welcome.
And Melinda is a youth as well.
Elder youth. Also, I just don't want to I just want to make sure that that people that please bring their kid, please bring your youth, your kid, especially, it doesn't matter how old they are, so that way they can be with the Cambodian community, knowing what they are, what we do, because it's not commonly that you go and camping, you go to a retreat that see a lot of Cambodian. You would usually kid in this country during the summer, they go summer camp. Summer camp is not hosted by Cambodian. Summer camp is hosted by different organization, but this one going to be held by South Carolina, and it's going to be Cambodian. So please bring your children, please bring your grandchildren, and come and meet the beautiful Soknin. So let's talk about the latest news. Um, this is the latest news beside the Thai and this is the latest news. The Cambodia Senate, led by Mr. Hun Sen, is pushing a constitutional amendment that would allow the regime to revoke citizenship from anyone accused of colluding with the foreign powers. So this isn't just a legal tweet; it's a dangerous shift. So critic saying it will be used to silence opposition, punish activists, and even target Cambodians who lack proper documentations. We know that if you are living in the farm, you don't have money or you don't have access to documentation. That is something that for the last 40 years, it's been a struggle. And for the last 40 years or 50 years, if you go to the farm or you go to rural areas, not many Cambodian has the proper documentations. So Cambodia, or the thing is, Cambodia already have laws to prosecute treason, and we know opposition have, like Her Excellency Mosuhur, Mr. Sam Rainsy, they are in jail for not in jail. They are prosecuted for so many years in jail that if they were to be in the country, they will never come out alive. So why is this important? Why is this now? And so what do you think, our audience that watching this show? Should any regime have the power to erase someone's identity? Um,
I think for me, Bong, the simple answer to that question is no. It shouldn't be allowed, and it just one of many indicator that the current leader that we have in Cambodia is a dictator. As a citizen, as a human, you should have the freedom of your voice. So let's talk about Cambodia specifically. It should be free and fair election, but that doesn't happen. We know there's no free and fair election. The regime constantly using different strategy to silence people. For instance, that you brought up, they will be revoked of their citizenship. Without citizenship, it means they do not have identity. Without identity, they cannot vote, they cannot travel, they do not have any proper documentation. But traveling, that I'm not talking about traveling for fun and seeing the outside world. Some people have to travel to Thailand, to Korea, to the US, to different places to provide for their family, to get a job, because job opportunities are only for the elite in Cambodia. The regular citizens, the middle class, the lower class do not have job opportunities. I constantly see and I constantly hear people of the middle class and lower class, especially those who do selling stuff at the markets, do in the small businesses, they are on the either bankrupt or on the risk of shutting down their business just because the market and the economy has just been downhill. That all I hear is like, oh, the market is so quiet, there's nobody here. So um, I want to emphasize how this will impact a Cambodian individually, not just a section or a portion of the population of the citizens, but it will impact every individual. And this is another way of silencing the Cambodian citizen. It's like imagining you and I are talking and someone come over and be like, you don't have a voice. You cannot voice your concern. And that's what it is. You cannot voice your concern. You cannot associate with the opposition party, even though you have the right to choose your political party. You have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, whichever party you want to vote. But in this case, they're doing every strategy that they can to silence the Cambodian communities, to silence the Cambodian citizens, as well as leaving them with no option but to vote for the current government that has been in office as long as I have been alive, and I'm 24 now. So that should put it into a perspective for you to think about how a dictator has been in office for this long.
Yes, and just to echo what Soknin said, let's be clear, this amendment, if it passed, it does not protect Cambodian. It's about controlling. So dictatorship is controlling. It's legally redundant, politically dangerous, and actually morally wrong. Citizen is not a weapon. It's a right. Citizenship is a right, and it's not for the regime to start deciding who belong and who doesn't. It's also it's the Cambodian, that the one that's outspoken, that suffer the most, and who the outspoken is the opposition. So this law is not protecting Cambodian. This law is about, like Suknin said, controlling, really controlling. So that's just the latest news, and I know in Cambodia, there is no debate, there is no research on what is the effective when they change the law. So hopefully, your voice, my voice, and all the Cambodian outside voices against this law make it that it will not be amended in the constitutions. So that's the latest news, and it's always that's new. There's always new that never go to like, oh, news for protecting the people. It's always news on trying to silencing the opposition, silencing the outspoken, silencing the people, the Cambodian people inside Cambodia that actually does not agree with the regime. So that's in short. Um, we need to get back to our topic. Our topic is think twice before visiting Cambodia. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, I'm not sure how you've seen something. Um, it's not Cambodian inside Cambodia promoting it. It's the foreigner that visiting Cambodia. So they promoting Cambodia. They promoting Cambodia as Cambodia is a very safe place to visit. Um, I really don't want to pull their website, but I'm sure you see it. You see, say I say it's Cambodian safe the questions, and it's not a Cambodian inside Cambodia saying, oh, is it safe? Come and visit Cambodia. It's a foreigner. It's called social media influencer, influencing or influencer that posting it that, oh, Cambodia is safe. Cambodia is come and visit. But in reality, the it's not the person who's saying it, it's the government that getting this propaganda. It's saying the country is safe, stable, and welcome. But behind this polished image of Angkor Wat, there's reality that not many people
I
can.
think it's a perfect opportunity for us to talk, perfect timing for us to talk about the think about twice before visiting Cambodia, because we're in July, and I know that a lot of people take vacation in July. Kids are off from school visiting motherland, or like people in general. That's the peak season to travel, and like Wong mentioned, we really want to show the reality of what it is like in Cambodia, not every picture. It's not what it's seen on pictures, like how people often say social media doesn't always show the reality, whether it's a celebrity or being in another country. It tells a story. Every picture tells a story, but it doesn't always show the reality. And Cambodia is one of that case, where we see tourist pictures. Great that we have Angkor Wat, we have Siem Reap, we have Phnom Penh, Sihanoukville, the beaches, and all of that. However, those beaches are now surrounded by um, casino, cyber crimes. It's become a cybercrime hubs, and casino that is operated and managed by the Chinese. Um, it has no benefit for the Cambodian community, the Cambodian citizen, um, and it does not uplift the tourism in the local area. So That's why we wanted to talk about that today, and kind of give the audience some informations to show you what Cambodia is really like. So what is the tourism in Cambodia looks like? What is the current human rights and political climate and the development and the environment impact? Because I think those are some of the information you should know about a place you are visiting. When you visit somewhere, you are, especially as a foreigner, you should know the in and out of this. You should know the country or the place that you're visiting very well to ensure that you are safe. And we wanted to share some of the details for Cambodia so that way we can accurately display and show what is going on in Cambodia. And I want to emphasize that we are not anti tourism. However, we are pro justice, we are pro democracy. We love to see that there are tourists in Cambodia. And I love that um, people want to visit my country, people want to see what my culture is like, but they should also see what the everyday of a Cambodian looks like when they are visiting or know about it before they go to visit in Cambodia.
Thank you, Soknin. Yes, tourism ads show temple, Angkor Wat, many places, beautiful. Beaches, Soknin said beaches, beautiful. And of course, smiling faces of Cambodian. But people doesn't know there's no free, fair, and just election in Cambodia. Billion and billion of dollar money laundering through cybercrime. Activists, opposition, Mother Nature, jail for speaking out. So in short, Cambodia people are beautiful. Cambodia, the country is beautiful. The regime is not. So let be clear. When Soknin said, yeah, we're not anti-Cambodia, we're not anti-tourism, but when the regime bringing all these beautiful flower of Cambodia, we want to say, you know what, that's not the truth. That is that's not the truth at all. So, Cambodia, we all remember beautiful temple, and I couldn't agree. So Cambodia is politically unstable. That's one,
I
and it's
think
not
on the
safe.
tourism note, Bong, because everybody know Angkor Wat, and that's one of their top places when they go to visit Cambodia is they go to Angkor Wat. But I have done some research, and in 2024, last year, because we're in 2025 now, 2024 alone, there was 6.7 million tourists, which generated 3.6 billion in revenue for tourism in Cambodia. However, only 28% of the ticket revenue from Angkor Wat goes to conservation and local development. 28%. That's not even, that's like zero point 0.5 of the ticket of the revenue that they make um from the tourism at Angkor Wat alone. We are not talking about Siem Reap as a whole. We're not talking about Sihanoukville and many other different tourist places in Cambodia. That's only in Angkor Wat alone. So, however, there's only 28% of the revenue go to actual conservation and local development. Where is the rest of it go? Like, where is the rest of the revenue? And I know, and I'm sure the audience most likely know as well. The rest of the revenue is either mismanaged or diverted to private firms with government site and the elite people. So when development come at the expenses, or what they call is development, when the development come at the expenses of the people, especially the poor, the lower class, lower and middle class, which make the majority of the Cambodian population, is it really a development? Because you're not, how can you say it's development when the citizen themselves do not benefit? Only the elite are benefit from it. Only the private firms are benefiting from it. And 28% is a very, very, very small um, fraction of the revenue, of the total revenue to put into conservation and local development. More, it should have been more, and that is one of the reason why we are pro justice, why we are pro democracy. Again, we're not anti tourism, but we also need justice for our culture and our heritage. Like Uncle What, we cannot keep taking 28%. It needs to be more to fully preserve and continue developing the tourism in Cambodia. So we want Cambodia where millions in tourism dollars uplift the community when they community that they come from, and not just the pockets of the elites. We want transparency, accountability, and the dignity for the Cambodian people, whether they are inside the country or in the diaspora.
Thank you, Soknin. And another note to that is scam. People say scam are rare, but versus global scam hub, Cambodia is now a global epicenter of online scam operations, with over 24 billion laundered through state-linked criminal network like Who is One Group. These operations involve forced labor, human trafficking, cybercrime, often with direct tie to the regime official. I'm refuse to call it government because the people doesn't vote for them. The regime officials and their family. So crime are all over the place. When you're talking about, well, many Cambodian are in, I totally agree that in Cambodia there's welcoming, there's house, like people are warm and kind. The regime crackdown on civil society, media, and indigenous community paint a darker picture. When you are in Phnom Penh, you see people drive a more expensive car than you in the US. You have to know how do they make their money when the factory worker barely making $200 a month. And where do those elite, where those people make their money? You have to question that. And you have to question, if people making $200, $300 a month, why, how does living conditions? Why is it that only a small portions enjoy the fruit of what a Cambodian have to offer, but many people are suffer? And if you right now, if you walk into a supermarket, it's very quiet. There's no so the image of Cambodia is about cybercrime, and cybercrime is also affecting the U.S. citizen, not just U.S., all over the world. But when we are in U.S., so we're talking about the U.S. And if you said, "Oh my goodness, Soknin, why would Soknin and I bad mouthing our country?" No, the data doesn't lie. So we're talking about press freedom index. Cambodia ranked 161 out of 180. Corruption index, 158 out of 180. Trafficking in person, tier 3, worst level. So that just a number that if you were to look at press freedom index, corruption index, trafficking in person, that is a real number that people give out. What's number of Cambodia? What is, so it's not something that Soknin and I make up. It's not something that we just say, oh, think twice about going. So today we are trying to unpack the truth behind the Cambodia tourism campaign that hosted by the regime, that encouraged by the regime, and it's not by Cambodian people, it's by the foreigner. So that's why it need to think twice before packing your bag.
And all the things that you have mentioned, Bong, that create and pose a high risk of safety. When we're talking about safety for you to visit Cambodia, that does not sound like a safe place to go visit, to have your family at all, when you have all these cyber crimes, all these human trafficking, a shutdown of press, of free media. Personally, that's not a place that I would want my family to travel. So that's why we're encouraging you to think, really think and do your research about the current situation, the reality that the Cambodians are facing every single day before you decide if that is a great place that for you and your family to visit and to take a tour and by because we just talked about tourism, and we talked about the regime. As a tourist, once you know these information and you continue to do so, to contribute to the tourism, you are indirectly supporting the regime, because you know that the tourism revenue goes directly to the regime. It benefits the elites and the private firms. It does not support the local community. It does not genuinely uplift the tourism in Cambodia. So by continuing to do tourism in Cambodia, you are indirectly supporting the regime.
And you are hitting the point when you said that cybercrime does not benefit the people of Cambodia. It's benefit the regime, and when it said not benefit people of Cambodia, um, now the whole world know that Cambodia is infested with cybercrime, human trafficking. Um, if you hear that, this is not me and Soknin talking, okay? This is from the State Department. From if you hear that, how likely are you going to Cambodia? So it is no surprise that the regime know the country is quiet, the country is lacking tourism. That's why they're doing this propaganda for people to come back to Cambodia. So when I said that, when it's benefit the regime, the people of Cambodia does not benefit from cybercrime, meaning there's no tourism, so I mean no money flowing in. Economy is staying still. The staying still. So if you are selling souvenir in Siem Reap, you are selling souvenir in the market, there is no money. There's no tourism to buy your product. In return, you will tie on your budget. So it does not benefit the people of Cambodia. And it does not benefit internationally because cybercrime is not only affect Cambodian economy, it's affect foreigner. We always hear people from India, people from Bangladesh that lure into this cybercrime compound and forced to work, forced to be basically slave labor. So
And one thing I want to mention, Bong, a question that I want to leave with our audience if they do decide whether it's a Cambodian um, descent returning to Cambodia for vacation, visiting family, or if it's foreigner going to Cambodia for the first time, I want to leave you with a question for you to think as you go from one place to the next in Cambodia, because I have seen it firsthand and it's very heartbreaking. When you go from restaurant to local to tourist spot to Angkor Wat to Sihanoukville, Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, wherever you go, you will always see the little kids. When I say little, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years old, where they
younger,
should be in
even younger than
school.
that.
They should be in school. That is the peak of their development. They should be in school. They should be educated. They really need that educational material in order for them to grow be be educated, so they can be an active um, citizen and expressing their voice and doing so many things in our society, contributing to society. So that's one question that I want to have our audience keep in mind and start asking, why are these kids keep showing up, whether they are begging for money, whether they're selling the souvenirs or selling the balloons. Everywhere you go, you see so many of them. And then compare it to where you are living, whether you're in the US or in Europe or a different place in Asia. Do you see that as much as you see it in Cambodia? And then start asking, what is the difference? Why are there so many in Cambodia and why are there not so much in where you live, and how they are being supported?
Now that you did brought up a good point. When I was in Cambodia, I see many youth would stand around, just stand still, stand around chit chatting at the cafe or at the place you eat. And I always wondering how come they're not in school? How come? Because in America, from 8 to 3. You don't see kids walking around, roaming around, unless it's summer, they off school. But from 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, you if you see kids roaming around, you ask, what are you doing here? You should be at school. But in Cambodia, it's not just the little kid. When you're talking about 6, 7 years old, it's the youth, the one that the teenager. It's like you see them have nothing else to do, period. So it's just a stands as a waste of resource, a waste of energy. So anything else you want to add, or you want me to sum it up?
You can go ahead, Bo.
Okay. Cambodia natural beauty, we can say Cambodian natural beauty and culture heritage are undeniable. Undeniable. It's amazing. But traveler deserve the full picture. The regime paint a glossy tourism, a picture of beautiful Cambodia. But reality is it's repressions, corruptions, and a lot of cybercrime in Cambodia. So ethical traveling mean in being informed. So standing in solidarity with us and in solidarity with those that us that fighting for freedom, justice in Cambodia. So ethical traveling. It's not just go to Cambodia, spend money, but be aware of where your money, who your money is serving. You cannot land in Cambodia without spending money and feeding. And you said, if you say, oh, I'm going to Cambodia, I'm going to just spend money so I can help the poor. But if you go to Starbucks, if you go to those brand name, those brand name belong to the regime. Their family owned almost like 90% of what Cambodia people. So what you do is when you get out, you as soon as you land on the airport, you walk out, you are not able to do every dollar that you spend, it's going to be helping the regime. And that's how the regimes still keep going, where the Cambodian people are still poor. Cambodian people, worker, are surviving, majorities are surviving for $200 a month. And we have over 3 million migrant workers in Thailand, Korea, Japan, that the regime after over 40 years cannot afford to create job, cannot afford to basically create job for our youth. Our youth are forced to go out of the country. Over 3 million of them work away from home, and nobody want to work away from home. So ethical travel means being informed. That's it. And once again, Soknin and I hope to see you this weekend in South Carolina, and come and meet us and come and join us for our team building retreat. With that, thank you so much, Soknin, for joining me today. I appreciate it. I'll see you this Saturday, and we see everyone this Saturday. I will see our audience next Tuesday. Thank you so much, and hope everyone have a great evening. Thank you.